Goeiedag en hartlik welkom by hierdie episode van Agri Monitor. Dit is Dinsdag 6 Junie en ek is Elvira Hatting wat saam met julle in hierdie landbouprogram kuier. Nou in vandag se Plaas Toe-segement kuier ons op die plaas Komsberg. Nou dis 'n suideplaas wat druiwe produseer en meneer Jacques Clift dan nou aan die woord daar. Hierdie video is dan nou geproduseer deur Spinneys, die plek waarvoor die druiwe gaan. Dan nou in vandag se nuusgesprek wys Danou van Rensburg van Otjiwarongo vir ons hoe om met erdwurms te boer. Nou ja, dit kan 'n uiters winsgewende boerdery wees, sou jy dit reg kon doen. Nou, jy kan ook in vandag se Agri Monitor blaaie in die koerante meer lees oor Danou se erdwurmboerdery. Bly ingeskakel.
Ek is Coretti Duplessis.
My name is Katja Pieters. My name is Justice Shahama. I am Namibian.
Hallo, ek is Damien Stevens.
En ek is 'n Namibianer in Nederland.
Bly tans in New Orleans in Amerika.
In heidelik in beautiful Toronto, Canada.
Currently part of
So I'm currently based in South Carolina in the US.
Funding part of it and the risk aspects that are related to the potato production is also
Owen said something magical happens inside of an earthworm. The benefits of the earthworms is they improve the draining of land or soil where they are active in up to 10 times. So if you have a 10 millimeters of rain, and only a millimeter goes into the soil and the rest washes away. If you have enough earthworms and you get 10 millimeters of rain, 10 millimeters will go into the soil. It improves the soil structure, it comes down to the same thing, but plants can grow their roots easier, they break up harder soil. If you come check outside, you'll see the compost is really almost like little balls. Soil roots can grow easily, they don't have to fight for survival. And they change any rotten material into plant available nutrients. So plants can only take up certain things, and once it goes through the earthworm's body, it can be taken up much easier. They have growth hormones that they excrete as well, so that makes your plants grow faster and it makes them disease resistant. Then the worm turns to nitrogen when it dies, so you add a lot of nitrogen at the end of the life cycle of the worm. So my name is Danou van Rensburg. I've been playing with the worms now for about 6 years, maybe a little more. We've done an online course and teaching people how to do this, and we're also in the final stages of writing an ebook about the worms. There's about 6,000 types of earthworms in the world, 350 different ones in southern Africa. So there's not just 5 or 6 different types of earthworms. The longest earthworm in the world was found in South Africa, 6.7 meters high. So it's double the height of this roof. There's some rumors in Namibia about earthworms. I just quickly want to kill them. The one is that if you find them in soil, they can eat your living plants and they're bad for the environment, for your plants, which is not true. Earthworms don't eat living plants at all. So if you find earthworms, they are very good. So the two types of earthworms is you get normal earthworms that we know as of an earthworm. You find them in the soil, in rivers and so on, and then you get a composting worm. Now the earthworms that people know as earthworms, they can go. Some of them can go up to 10 meters deep. They eat soil as well as plant material, and sometimes they breed only once a year. Some of the species breed only once a year. The compost worm, which will be more our focus today, which is also an earthworm, but they live in rainforests just below the leaves and on top of the soil. So they don't eat any sand at all. If they can help it, they try to eat only organic matter. And so they breed a lot faster and they make compost much faster. But the big problem with them is they require a lot more moisture. Since they can't dig deep for moisture, they only live in the top 30 centimeters of the soil or of the leaf matter or whatever. They need a lot more moisture, so they live in rainforests and so on. So the specific worm that I'm going to talk about is the red wiggler, the Sina putida. I'm sure I'm butchering that. It's called the red wiggler, and these are the ones that I use for compost. I do also have other worms, but it's just for fun. This is the one that breeds the fastest and eats the most and makes the most compost. They are also called tiger worm because they have little stripes on them, but most often called the red wiggler. The humidity should be about 80%, so nice and moist. The temperature should be between 10 and 21 degrees inside of the soil, not inside of the atmosphere outside. So if you put your hand in or thermostat in the soil, you can feel between 10 and 21 degrees. They need a diverse habitat. In ideal conditions, so different things. Very often I just give them horse manure, but if I really want to make them happy, I give them a banana and a mango and some eggshells and some soil, a little bit of sand, and so I give them a diverse habitat. Wood leaves, wood chips, different things. The acidity should be between 5 and 9 on the scale, and you can add either eggshells or more carbon, in other words boxes or dry leaves or something like that if it becomes too acidic. And when it becomes too acidic, you can smell it. Also, if for instance, if you're in a worm farm and they all clump on the top, or they start running away, it's just too acidic, then you can let them breathe, add some more carbon, and they will become happy again and move back on. You can put some leaves on top, just brown carbon dead leaves, that will automatically take some of the nitrogen out, get the nitrogen carbon ratio right, and get your acid level right. If you want to add worms to your land, there's two ways to do it. Most of our lands have got some sort of earthworm to it. If you want to make them more active, for instance, I know Natalie in the Tawi did that, cover her land with organic matter and keep it moist, and the worms will come up and they will breed. This is now the normal earthworm that you get in Namibia. But the earthworms that we have in Namibia, they can go up to 10 meters deep. So they will just follow the moisture. And when you water again and when you add the organic matter again in the soil in summer, they will come up and they will live. But the more cover and the more moisture, the better they will survive. And then the other way to add worms to your land is to buy them and just add them to your land. Now this one isn't perfect for our conditions, but you get worms, it's just a lot more expensive to buy and very, very difficult to find the local worms in Namibia to buy. I've paid up to $5 a worm for a local worm. What do they eat? Now, the biggest stunt in worm farming is the amount of food that people give them. Many people come to me and I say, listen, I bought 100 worms 5 years ago and I opened them and there's still more or less 500 worms. Why isn't it that what happened? And it's 100% space and food. If you give them food and you give them space, they will multiply like there is no tomorrow, if the conditions are right. Very often manure, you can get that, if you have a farm, you can get that from your own animals. You can maybe ask stables or feedlots to get that. Then they eat plants and leaves, anything that you cut on your land, anything that your cattle, say you give them grass and they don't eat all the grass, but they manure on some of it, that grass they can eat. Any leaves that come out of your garden, any grass that comes out of your garden, any trees or leaves or anything that you can think of, they will eat. If you give them big sticks, they will eat around it. It will be a slower process, but eventually that will also get eaten. Okay, then they eat cardboard. They love cardboard because it's very high in carbon. You can get that from shops or from dumps or from your friends. Food scraps, almost anything that comes out of your kitchen. If you take the bigger systems that I'm going to explain to you, you can add basically everything except for meat and dairy on that heap. And you can get the food scraps from coffee shops, from if you have a spar in your town, go to them, ask them for all the vegetables that they throw away. Coffee grinds, moer coffee, they really like that. Pasta, bread, hap, vegetables. Brewers, if you have a place where they brew beer, or if you brew beer, all of that waste, they love it. Okay, then there's some superfoods that they really like. That just makes them explode. Coffee grinds is one of them, they really love it. Watermelon, pieces of watermelon. If I need to catch 1,000 worms and I don't have workers or something, I put half a watermelon down on my farm, walk away, 2 days later come back and there's millions of worms. So that's something. Bananas, if the banana gets rotten, you put that in and you open that after 2 days, you find all of them in there. They're having a breeding party and a feeding party and all sorts of parties there inside of the banana. Mangoes they like. What should you not feed them? Citrus, they don't. If you have a small, as I said once again, if you have the big farm system that I'm going to explain to you, you can give them all of these things. But if you have a small system like that, like this for instance, then I would avoid citrus, onions, garlic, meat and dairy. All of those things lift your acidity. They don't eat them before they compost, and so you're going to have a smelly, not happy worms. It's not going to be a fun place.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
There's a huge amount of grapes in the world. There's a huge amount of citrus in the world. And the only difference is if you're providing a good quality product, and that's what we strive to do. Oh, when I started working, I was 18 years old. And I just love working with people. Over the years, I've learned a lot about grapes. And it's a privilege for me now to be able to share all my knowledge with our employees, teaching them about why you do something and how to do it. That's a passion of mine. We are extremely lucky with our location because Komsberg borders the Orange River with 53 kilometers, and that's between South Africa and Namibia. Komsberg is a very large farm and we have over 1,000 hectares that is suitable for irrigation. Because of the hot, dry weather climate we've got, our vines and trees doesn't really get any diseases. Our bunches get very good berry size, and also a crisp fruit that colors well because of where and how we plant our vines. Due to the early summer and weather conditions, our early grape varieties can be first in the market in the Northern Hemisphere. When the company Spinneys came in and took over the farm, we decided that we want to be a game changer. Mr. Alberwardi is very passionate about Komsberg, not only of the farm's rugged and often unforgiving landscape, but also the people that are sharing their lives with the project. Many northern Namibians, they come down to the south and they seek for work. These employees are coming with their families and they require proper housing. They used to build small traditional reed houses, but that's not the best living conditions, and we want to provide them with better conditions. So what we've done is we've now built houses for 140 permanent employees and 600 seasonal employees, and that's for a better future for them. We also plan to build a large shop. We want a clinic, we want a school on the farm, so that our people can be self-sustainable and everyone can live their lives to the fullest. Soil preparation is one of the most important points on developing table grapes. If you plant these vines in the wrong soils, it's going to be a disaster. We use much less chemicals here than in the rest of the world, which you don't have the dry climates. On the grape varieties that we've grown, we've got the wide spectrum of the red, white and black grapes. Most of our varieties is seedless, although we have a few seeded varieties left in our spectrum as well. The best time of the year to plant them is not later than August. This allows the plant to develop and be ready for bearing fruit not longer than 16 months later. We've got a short harvesting time, and that starts in the middle of November, and then we harvest for 6 to 7 weeks. It is important that we finish before the rain season starts, and that usually starts by the end of January. We have our own pack house, which we will go under renovations in the near future. During harvest season, we are packing every day. We start harvesting at 4 o'clock in the morning every morning, and the production unit starts at 6. Once everything has been cut, sorted for size, weighed, put into the cartons and packed into the cold storage facility, we have it ready for air and or sea freight for the export agency that we use, which is called Bet-El Fruits. We are producing these fruit for the markets, and we believe in top quality fruit. So we would rather go and harvest 200 cartons less per day or 200 crates less per day, but pack quality fruit.
At Spinneys, we just absolutely love our products from Komsberg, a farm down in Namibia, for a number of different reasons. So we've got early grapes that is really important for us from a quality point of view. So we want to bring to market the earliest possible, best possible quality products. So we've got it in our red and in our white grapes, and Komsberg really provides us that opportunity, beautiful product from a beautiful area. On the other hand, goodness and a beautiful product is not just about beautiful soil, limited amount of pesticides, good temperature, clean air, all those other things. What's really important for us as Spinneys is our whole sustainability, our whole good food practice. We're in essence a food business, and we wanted to make sure that our products get to you from farmers and people that we know and trust. So we only buy from farms. The Komsberg situation is particularly important. We know the setup, we know the management. It's a brilliant collaboration between the Namibian government, between the local communities, between Spinneys' parent company, and also obviously the farm management. And in that, we can ensure labor practices, we can ensure the community is being looked after, and we really end up with a product that we're very proud of from the communities that we support.
So here we're standing now at the lookout point. This is one of the only places on the farm where you have these beautiful red mountains at the back, and when you look at to the other side, you've got that fields just running forever. It's beautiful, it's quiet, you don't hear the wind here, you just see the world going on and on and on. And this is a very special place for the farm.
Did you know you can buy a new or second-hand vehicle, such as light delivery vans, trailers, small trucks and tractors for agricultural use? The repayment period for these vehicles ranges between 5 and 10 years. Contact your nearest Agribank branch or visit our website at www.agribank.com.na for more information about this loan product. You can also visit us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn and YouTube. Agribank, your all-season bank.
Van dese week se veilings lyk dan soos volg. Vandag 6 Junie hou Agri veilings op Otjiwarongo, Karoo Oes is op Onderombapa en die NLA is met 'n klein en groot veeveiling by die Leonardwilkerk. 7 Junie hou Agri 'n veiling op Mariental Blouberg op Grootfontein en die NLA is met 'n klein en groot veeveiling op Witboisvlei. Die WLA is ook dan met 'n groot veeveiling op Nina op die dag. Op 8 Junie is Agri met 'n veiling op Otjiwarongo, Karoo Oes op Talismanus en die WLA met 'n groot veeveiling in Windhoek. Op 9 Junie is Agri met veilings op Otawie en Gobabis en die NLA met 'n klein en groot veeveiling op Kalkrand. Dagboek vir die landbouer, nou ja, in die volgende weke en daar val die klem dan nou op turksvye, liewer dan nou die doringlose turksvye. Dr. Herman Fouché, 'n baie bekende navorser van die Universiteit van Pretoria, wat dan nou verskeie plaaslike inligtingsdae hieroor in Namibië gaan kom hou. Nou ja, hou dan nou die dagboek dop vir dit, as ook vir kontakbesonderhede van die organiseerders. Dit is dan nou al vir vandag. Volgende week, selfde tyd, selfde plek, maak ons weer so. Sien jou dan.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with the entertainment.
Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.